First of all, what is your role? Well, your role as a consultant coach is not to be of service to clients. Being of service to clients implies you are a servant to clients. That's not what we do. Our role is actually to control clients and to attempt to get compliance from clients. I often tell the story of my experience as a patient with chiropractors. And so the very first chiropractor I went to, I was having pretty severe back trouble at the time. I go in, and if you've ever, how many of you have been to chiro? Okay, you guys, all know the drill, right? So they bring you in, they show you the X-rays, and they do the report of findings, and they tell you you got to come in 4 times a week for the first 3 weeks, and 3 times a week for the next 6 weeks, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know the drill too. I knew it when I went in, so I had sort of mentally prepared. So the doc gets done with the whole presentation. That's all fine, except, that's fine for ordinary people, but that's no good for me because, I got a bunch of stuff going on, and sometimes I got to jump on an airplane with a month's notice, and I can't be scheduling appointments a week ahead of time. And so ultimately when we all get done, we've arrived at an arrangement that I'll come in when I want to, and I'll call them up a couple hours, and they'll squeeze me in. And how long do you think I kept going? Not very damn long. A few months later, I now go to my second chiropractor because, of course, my back problem is worse. And she does pretty much the same presentation. I do pretty much the same presentation. She now concludes the presentation by, walking out, coming back in with the yellow pages, opening it to chiropractors, and have a red pen in her hand and saying, let me mark 3 or 4 doctors I'd be happy to refer you to who will accept you on that basis and are very good doctors here in the community, but you can't be a patient here at this practice on that basis. Huh? Right? Well, because we have a relationship here. We're in a partnership to get you well. I can't do my part if you won't do your part, and I don't want any patients here who aren't going to get well, so I'm not going to accept you as a patient. Well, wait a minute. Maybe I can arrange my schedule, right? When I went back for my first adjustment, all chiropractors give you some kind of little Xerox piece of paper with little drawings of exercises on it that you're supposed to do, and they mark the number of reps on the blank line, right? You're supposed to do 8 of these, 4 of these, right? Which immediately goes under the car seat is where that goes. And so I go back for my first adjustment, and Dr. Penny says, how you doing with those 3 exercises? Oh, great, they're fabulous. Like I'm going to do these exercises, right? Get out of here. Well, show me exercise number 3. I want to make sure you're doing it right. You got to fess up, right? I ain't doing it. I don't even know what exercise 3 is. The sheet's under the car seat. And I haven't got any intention of doing it. Just crack my back, and my neck, and let me get out of here. I got things to do. Now, you got to go home. You can't be a patient here if you're not going to do your exercises. So we'll reschedule you for Thursday and come back in and be prepared to show me all 3 exercises before you get an adjustment. Well, I'm stomping and pissed off, but I go, do the exercises, come back, do the exercise. So, see, most doctors would think that their role is to be of service to the patient. But no, the role is to be the superior being in control in order to get compliance from the patient. So if you have an in-service attitude, the relationship is ordered in the wrong direction. If you have an in-service attitude, you give up control to the client. Second attitude, superiority. Nothing is more important to the successful consultant coach than complete disdain for everybody you're dealing with. That doesn't mean you don't like them, right? But you've got to really have in your head how incredibly ignorant and dysfunctional they all are. And I used to think, somebody asked me this question the other day, how much money do you have to take from somebody to get a smart person who can follow instructions? And I said, I used to think it was about that. Okay, we're only taking $30,000 from them, and they're behaving like idiots. Maybe if we took $300,000 from them, they'd take it more seriously and they'd behave better. No.